Hi guys, this is going to be just an all for nothing sort of video. Just going to give you a quick run through what I've been doing and what's happening fairly soon. Obviously we've got the ETC 2018 held in Cardiff. It's hosted by the Welsh lads obviously and the King brothers. In fact, Alistair he's captain of Team 1 Wales, and Matt is basically just doing all the legwork. An amazing guy, trust me when I say legwork. He's working really hard. Great effort on his behalf, and obviously Alistair is throwing into a few bits and pieces. So today's video might take its day or two to film this, but basically what I'm going to do should that be in the bloopers? Might take a day or two to film this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically run through exactly what I've been up to and give you an insight. We're going to go down to my workshop slash garage slash right next door to the house now because I've got rid of the office, and we'll see what I've been up to and all the bits and pieces, and then we'll settle down and we're going to look at doing a video on the production of one of my new terrain pieces, and that's for a friend. I've had a few interested parties already asking about, do I sell the stuff and would I sell it to them, and yeah, I suppose I will if I want to progress with this terrain stuff. Ideally it's all for the ETC, so I'm just building up a complete storage of scenery, so it's kind of got to be good quality as well. I'm using various resins and I've just had a package delivered, so perhaps we should take a walk downstairs and see what's going on. Here we have some stuff. Right, we have ping pong balls, and they're going to be for a draw. Oh, an ETC draw tomorrow that I'm hooking up with Owen. Here's the Smooth On from Bentley. That's going to be my mould maker, and a few bits and pieces. So let's see about grabbing these into the shed. And there's a mad 5-year-old running around in snow. Say hello, Saoirse.
Hello.
Don't you dare throw any. You mad child, what are you? Alright. Okay, out of here. Bye bye. And the shed. Garage. It's not bad actually. Just converted the garage into a workshop. So let's check out what we got inside. Right, now loads of stuff going on. So a bit of a table, some bushes, just my window clean down there, which is actually my spray for PVA, a bin. Managed to get my cabinets in here, which is great as well, obviously not filled. Dwarf terrain for the goats, which will give them not woodland creature but a mountainous dweller. We also have some smaller pieces that I've been constructing. If I can just get these put in quickly, I'll be able to show you the last piece. Whoops, hands in the way, I do apologise guys. So yeah, here's the last piece. Obviously painted up and flocked, and hopefully later on in the video I'm actually going to demonstrate all of that. And we just have more and more and more. Right, so let's come over here, and again some extra molds I've been creating. Okay, that'll give a different look. The not so successful molds. Alright, a little bit of cleanup of this, and here we go again. Total interruption day. Hello!
Hello! Welcome to Sarah's friend Daddy's show. Daddy will show you about men. Bye bye!
So, a couple of pound shop paints, some paint mixed up, doing the leopard effect, which has really been successful. What else have I been doing? Well, basically just making. Up here now, just moving the heater aside. This is my vacuum chamber, but on top I've been looking at making slot bits for the trees, so that you can use just the branches or roots, as I have done in my example, or you can tie in bits and pieces. So this green stuff is molded in. Hopefully I'll be able to get it out. Another thing I'm looking at is doing a mold of a nice tree, and that will actually lay predominantly down like so. Or let's go over to the actual piece now. The green bits at the end are actually going to be the entry points for the resin to be poured in, but and they are exactly on spots, so that's going to be a tad lower than that, but it'll be an additive that you can, you know, add on to it. Also experimenting with different pieces, and I'm looking to mold these, and they will be extra accessories, things you can slot in. I was looking at tree stumps, but to be honest, a tree stump is going to have to be very, very small, and as an accessory easily lost. So I thought I'd go for something a bit bigger like these, and predominantly, you know, some stuff with character to it. So back again, you can see the amount of stuff that's already done. This stuff is just amazing. I've used the best quality resin that I could find for this, because obviously it's extremely thin. Let's see if you can see through it there. Maybe not. Oh, there you go, that's a better example. So it's extremely thin, but it's tough. It's quite tough. All of these pieces have been made and hand sanded down to ensure a reasonably good fit. I won't lie and say it's a perfect fit, for two reasons. One, I don't want to lie, and two, if we take it over here more to the light, you'll see that I have purposely left little gaps just here, whoops, so that you can take the model out, because if you couldn't do that, then they'd be practically locked in place. They do fit in extremely tightly though, and snug, he says, trying to get this one to lie flush. You can hear the click there, and this one's also quite tight in. There we go. You can hear that, and then obviously the tweezers to pull it out. So presently this set, at the moment, I'm looking to supply for the ETC. There'll be these, there'll be a base, there'll be 2 threes, and obviously 2 rocky areas here. Yeah, so that's exactly the set I'm about to set up and make for my friend. So he doesn't want it painted. Now obviously, as you can see, I'm in the process of painting and using my own flock, etc. It's actually come out quite okay. Yeah, there's the tiniest bit here. I think you can just see the fibers. That is actually not my stuff, but by adding the tiniest bit, it brings it out a little bit. The colours of the rock, I'm really loving the colours in the rock. They're very, very subtle. So yeah. Anyway, so this is my shed. This is my workshop. This is where I'd like to think all the magic happens. More importantly, this is where all the ETC stuff is coming together. Ideally, as I said, I want a full storage of ETC scenery, so that I'm not having to depend and put too much pressure on each country to supply their own, though to be honest it shouldn't be too difficult to supply the scenery for what, an 80, 100, 120 person event, but look, just makes life easier if you do it yourself. I get a lot of rollicking for that. You know, delegate. I think the process is still in such its infancy. I mean, we are going to Cardiff's in less than a month and a half, 2 months away now. Poland, a year and 2 months. Already been to there. You've possibly seen my Polish video that I just put up. Things are going quite well there. A lot of support, a lot of bits and pieces, so awesome. Already practically have the venue booked and sorting out tables and sorting out stuff, and as you can see here, sorting out terrain. So another little bit of stuff inside I can show you, and then we'll settle down and we'll start making up this terrain set for my mate. Okay, and this is a bit different. Oh, let's zoom out. Here we go. So we'll start by these two. These, you may notice the shape. Okay, these are little hillocks, right? Rocky little hillock aspects that are going to fit into the mold. Go fit into the base, the modular base I have. So I'm going to actually mold these and do resin casts of them. Now this is all, of course, from the base is just a bit of plastic, a bit of Woodland Scenic rock sculpt there. I actually broke that piece so I could get a nice crevice and a crack formed. I then went and I sculpted the... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting my words. I sculpted the sculptor mode, is it? And I made it kind of like a grass line going there and similar there, and I'll put some sand in down here so that when it is actually put through the molding, this casting system, it'll all come out, and more importantly, it'll be, I suppose in a sense, paint by numbers. Because if each section has defined areas, then it'll be easier to figure out what the intention is painted as you want. So I'm looking at this being grass up here, so that'll all be flocked, and in here then we have some sand that's going to act... Whoop, my finger's right in the way. Here we're going to have some grass on top. This is the rocky outcrop bit, and in here, along there, my finger is definitely in the way here, is going to be some sand, and that's going to represent earth, and down here some pebbles or some larger grit pieces. Okay, and an example of that in progress is this, and this is one of my first hills that I've done using the sculpt mode, and big shout out to Loops Apps for that. His insight into it has really helped me. Bought the bag as he suggested. Will never buy a bag again, because I'm going to try and make it myself in future once I get the proper fine casting blaster. So you can see in here the sand, and that when cleaned up before I do the casting process and making the mold, that is going to act entirely as earth and a bit of don't know if any of you guys are climbers out there, but usually between two large rock faces you can end up getting some ground slippage and the like, and that's what that's going to represent. Still a lot of cleaning up on this to do. It was fine until I put the sand on, but now the sand needs to be sorted. And the second hill is this one, and this does feel a bit heavier, I think because it's still quite damp. I haven't seen the 5 minute later dry aspect that I thought. It is strong, it is solid, but it still feels damp, so I suppose maybe a couple of days is fine. The key thing is I'm not doing one piece at a time. My intention for these is, depending on this one, I'm not too sure, but definitely this one, I'm actually going to do a mold for it. And then I am literally going to fill it when casting. I'm not going to do it in resin because it would just cost too much. But what I will try and do is I'll put in I'll put in some foam to take up the body, and I'll put in some fine cast plaster to lace the aspect of the edging of it when it's upside down. So I'll put the plaster in like so, and then I'll fill it with my homemade sculptor mold. So we'll see if that will work out. These ones will be in resin, most definitely, because they're nice, small, and the resin is something that I actually look to sell potentially as part of the kit, accessories to the kit. This one and that one most definitely won't go in resin because the amount of resin needed is just astronomical for what you get. So whether I actually do these as little commission pieces or whatever, but these are going to be hills that are going to be used in ETC. Obviously this is my first attempt. We'll move on from here and we'll make larger and bigger stuff. Whether we use the sculptor mold or not en masse is something to be seen. I'm looking to create scenery to eventually be able to take it to any and every country, and for the tables just, you know, have no issues about, is this wall high enough, is that building the same size, and you know, all of these little stipulations that can cause problems. So the size of the hills presently that I'm looking at, they may not have to be very big hills. Small hills like these ones I have could well work. More importantly, the two new modular hills that I'm building here, well, my intention for them is that they will go into the base. So the event, I can have the base with these as hills. I can have the event with trees on the base. I can have the event with rocky terrain on the base, helping, or should I, not helping, allowing Iron Hill goats to have accessibility. So that's where I'm at the moment. As I said, trying to get it all sorted, and it's not looking too bad.